Good morning, everyone. Well, here I am with my morning cup of tea, and in theory, it should be a simple process to lift my hand and to take a sip of tea. But in fact, and you may have had your own unhappy experiences in this respect, it can go wrong. And woe, alas, you have slurped your tea, even missed the cup, and spilt the tea down your front. For just because the cup is in your hand, some misfortune could still befall you, such that you do not taste its contents. And the English language comes to the rescue here, as it often does with a proverb. There's many a slip twixt the cup and the lip. And often this is shortened to just there's many a slip. Curiously, I remember as a teenager becoming fully aware of this phrase when in Our Mutual Friend, it's a fine Dickens novel which has one of the most macabre and brooding openings of any novel. And the first part of Our Mutual Friend is entitled The Cup and the Slip. There's many a slip twixt, that's to say between, the cup and the lip. In other words, even when a good outcome or conclusion seems certain, things can still go wrong. And if you've ever played a game of tennis or table tennis and you've had 7 consecutive match points and then lost them all, or had a commanding position in a chess match and then lost the game, you'll know what I mean. Well, I'm reminded of this proverb in full force this morning. Now, on the face of it, the country is easing out of lockdown. The daily death rate from COVID-19 appears to be falling, as is what's called the excess mortality rate. And all of this bodes well. And for those of you out and about, you'll see that more and more shops are opening. However, I have to say that there are frankly quite shocking cases of people flocking together at the very time that we have to maintain social distancing. Yes, we are delighted that Liverpool has won the Premier League, but the sights of people celebrating in large numbers on the streets with no regard for the killer virus still within our community is totally unacceptable. As are the sights of our beaches, packed with people. Pictures of our beaches have made the front pages of newspapers around the world, and frankly make the UK look ridiculous as foreigners look at us and ask, what on earth are they doing? I've spoken before in a previous assembly about the power of collectivist societies like Japan, Korea, China, and so on, perhaps even Germany, where strength comes in unity of action. Now, yesterday I spoke about individual morality and choices in the face of rules and laws. Well, when in the midst of a pandemic, we all have a moral duty to our families, our neighbours, and to wider society to play our part and to act as one. To continue to wash our hands, to wear face masks on public transport, and for heaven's sake to maintain social distancing. This is the only way that we will get on top of the virus. The huge national effort is working, but this is not a time to ease up. We all know the power of exponential growth and how quickly this virus can once again take hold and rip through our communities. So arguably this summer we enter a dangerous period if we mistakenly think that we're now through the pandemic, now that lockdown is easing. If we cannot wait patiently and politely before being admitted to a shop and appreciate that we are being asked to do so, because the vox populi of, well, we've all had enough of lockdown, we just want to enjoy ourselves, is precisely the kind of thinking that will lead to further deaths and heartache, and, well, frankly, disproportionately for older people. It's hard to think of more selfish or amoral thinking. So we've made good progress in the fight against COVID-19, but we're not there yet. Have a good weekend, everyone. And if you are out and about, in the park or in the shops, of course this can be done. But listen to your parents and play your part in acting responsibly by not touching surfaces unnecessarily and generally adhering to all the guidelines. The end is perhaps in sight, but remember that there's many a slip